So Dennis, I'm going to come to you first for digital marketing. So if you'd like to introduce yourself for everyone who's joined us today and tell us about your experiences on the program.
Oh yeah, well, firstly, thanks so much, guys, for having me back. I really do appreciate it. My name is Denis Cronin. I'm a digital marketing and social media exec here at Connolly Motor Group. I'm based in Ballybrit at the moment, but we're across the west of Ireland. Really, we have about 9 different sites. And I suppose I'm a graduate of the MSc in Digital Marketing. And I suppose one of the biggest compliments I can say about the course is it actually helped me get the job I have. The digital marketing strategy module, we had to do a 6-month plan for Rent-A-Kill Initial and how we'd implement their marketing strategy that we came up with. And I pretty much copy and pasted that for this group, and it got me the job here. So, and I've seen a lot of people do that. And it does show the quality of the course for me, because I was able, not completely copy it, but a lot of the ideas you can replicate industry wide. And I think having that ability was something that definitely helped me get the job. And I think it's something that I know if I was looking back, if I didn't do the master's, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I suppose having done an undergrad in business studies, I came into the course with a lot of understanding on all the topics, etc. But it was definitely something that, particularly the theory side of it, it really does help when you are working in the industry, understanding the consumers and understanding how you communicate effectively to an audience. I think like even the customer journey mapping that Patricia highlighted extensively during the course, that's something that I think every business does. And it's so important now, given the competitive nature online. And it's something I do quite a bit of here with the work we do. And I suppose as well, just another point definitely is, you were touching here about the diversity of the course. I think that's super important right now, given the international base we have in Ireland and how diverse the workforce is. It's not going to be a case of you're going in and it's just people from one, it's not going to be fully Irish workforce. And I think working in the teams, as challenging as it can be at times, it's really important to understand and be able to thrive during that environment. Because when you do go into the workforce, that's exactly what you're going into.
Brilliant, Dennis. And do you want to tell us a small about your experience maybe as well with the digital summer schools? I think sound like they're a fantastic initiative that was introduced.
Well, I suppose the way it worked out for us was COVID hit right back a full year ago, around this week, I think, actually. But I think the whole course was put online, and it was actually, I think, to be honest with you, it actually worked even better, because we actually were able to do the summer school completely online, including the simulation. And I think one thing, I suppose, looking back, was all the different projects we did. They were very wide in variety. So it wasn't just one industry. We were working with startups. We were working like on that simulation with a budget, for example. We also worked with the likes of medtech and stuff like that. So I think for me anyway, it was a great way of picking and choosing what you liked and maybe the bits you didn't like as much, and focusing your efforts when you are looking for a job on within those specific areas that you do enjoy most.
I think Patricia made a very valuable point earlier when she was talking about the combination of having marketing expertise and digital marketing expertise when you go into industry, because even if you're not a digital marketer, expert, you have to have an understanding of the various layers to it and be able to apply that to the company you're working for, whether you're doing that directly or you're working with media agencies, for example. So that's fantastic, Dennis. So thanks so much for sharing that feedback. And Dennis, if you were to give advice now for someone applying for digital marketing, for the application process or in pursuing the program, what advice would you give?
I would say just kind of be ready to work, because there is a fair bit of work in it, but it's like everyone was saying here, it goes so fast, but it's like you've deadline after deadline, but it's very enjoyable, and you really are learning as you're going with it. And yeah, definitely, I'd just say go for it, kind of back yourself. And like Edwin was saying, like the culture, I don't think anyone mentioned the actual School of Business itself. There's like assigned seating for the marketing students, which is great. But like we ended up pretty much living there for the whole year. There was groups of us there the whole time. And like that, it's just one of those things where you're in that culture. And I suppose like the best compliment I can give the whole thing is that like once you're in it, you actually struggle when you're finished to kind of move on. And I think I can see that with even the lads that I was in college with. like we're all working now, and I think that's really important as well. For me, when I was embarking on the masters, it was like, can I actually get a job out of this? And I think that's probably anyone on this call that's thinking about doing a master's, that's what they'll want. They'll want to hear there is opportunities there. And I think regardless of each of the programs we're talking about here, I think it's really, it's a great way of getting employment at the end of the day, but actually being fit for employment as well. Because I'd love to see the stats in the class I was in, but I'd say 9 out of 10 of my friends are all working now, which is great. And given the circumstances of the market at the moment, it's a great sign of the course. So yeah, that's my advice. Just go and do it, and be willing to work. Get a nice laptop to work off, because you'll be on it enough.
Thanks very much, Dennis. I think the program directors are taking great delight in knowing that they've worked you as hard as you needed to during the program.